everybody. Welcome to another Guile treatment. We are continuing our Soul Calibur previews with Sophitia, who is quite the favorite character among my buddies joining me. So they will surely be fighting many diversity battles in events that they both attend, which I don't know if that's any.
No,
maybe you'll both be at Nats.
Worlds, Rockford, that's.
Oh, I guess it'll probably be out for Worlds. Yeah,
Worlds,
right.
Rockford. We're on the same team though, so I have a thing. I don't fight diversity battles against teammates, so I guess we can
we'll figure something out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll see.
Maybe one of us plays her for teams and the other one can play her in singles.
Yeah, right.
So, because I think she's going to be a very good teams deck because she's going to be able to counter a lot of characters. Especially when we get into her support. Holy buckets. She has some crazy ass stuff. It's great. So, first card, let's do it.
With the action there?
Action. My resolve will never falter. She has really good sayings on her cards. She's very heroic and powerful. Yeah. So
yeah, this is an interesting card in our land of actions competing for space. But again, only one symbol with revoke, so it has a shot. Doesn't share any symbol with bang. Those are the two big ones.
Yeah, for sure.
It has a +3 low block, which is unusually high for an action, especially one that doesn't just sort of replace itself on its own. So you actually have to -1 card to play this, and that's kind of going to make it tough.
Yeah.
That said, if you hit either of these effects at the right time, it is very, very strong. You can, someone like a Kuma's Kongo, for instance, if he doesn't negate this, you take that attack away.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just us three. And the R, similarly, you partial block something, you have the spare card, you take out the 2 foundations that they were expecting to, use to kill you, or to defend themselves. Either way. So this is one of the harder ones to rate for me, just because on paper these are very good effects. In practice, how often are you going to be able to spare the card, especially in a 6 hand size? This kind of feels like one of those 7 hand size cards.
Yeah.
I could see this in Spike 1 at a copy or 2, for instance.
Oh, sure. But
Yeah,
even then, he's still fighting for slots with Revoke and Templar. So it's it's very, 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 very hard.
That's definitely my feel. Is that this just feels like the effects are certainly good, but it very much comes back to if you're running this in a 6-hander, how are you sort of getting some more cards?
Yeah, sure.
If that feels like the biggest cost on this is the basically -1 hand size. Especially for the one about after an attack deals less than printed. That means that either you blocked it with something else, or your attack is being blocked and you're throwing this away. So that's just that's sort of a big thing. Maybe you're gonna kill them that turn, in which case, sure, throw away a card in hand, no problem. But yeah, I know we sort of compared it to Showdown, at least on block, for order, and +3 high versus +3 low. And I guess Showdown also commit to negate an action. That's pretty relevant. A high cost, but some of the actions that you're going to be negating, that's fine.
Yeah, on order it also has some competition from Demon Realm.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We forgot about that card. That's actually competition for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Prepare to fight as well.
Yeah. But it does play nice with Demon Realm. If you want to toss a copy of this and you're I have room for an action or an asset or something, you play one of these. You can Demon Realm and then use this thing and commit 2 other things, and hopefully if you use this R, it ends their turn. If you use the E in a way that sort of gets rid of an attack, then you're basically blocking with it. So you can think about it that way.
Yeah.
And if that E's not live, hopefully you have a way to use the R.
Yeah. I know Siegfried's card that lets you steal and enhance. This is a good candidate, I guess, of just playing this as the first enhance of an attack. You know, or right, you know, for all those people running Airlight Key on Life.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's another good candidate.
Yep. There you go. There you go. Can't forget about those people. All right. Let's go on to our asset. A mega.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
A mega sword and elk shield. It's kind of cool because it's a 1/6, which is kind of nice because you don't see that very often in current times. I believe there used to be some cheaper. Like there was one. Extensive wardrobe was a 1/5. Didn't have a +1. I think it had a +2 mid block, but
yeah. This is very close to a character block. You won't deny them momentum on a mid block, but you know, taking 1 damage is almost taking 0 for other intents and purposes.
Sure.
And in Sophitia, it lets you ruin their life.
Yes, it does. It does. And you can block from your staging area, so it's never like a dead card, ever. You know. So.
Yeah, I think looking at this, we know why Siegfried only gets foundations on block and not foundations or assets like Terry used to. Because
oh boy,
yeah, Cormorant exists too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
The I think if you're Sophitia, you're you got to run at least a pair of this, right? I mean, what do you have to lose?
This thing's awesome.
Yeah, it's not like Cormorant where you might have trouble getting it down on an attack turn because it's just 1 difficulty.
Yeah.
It checks a 6. It doesn't. It may not say Breaker 2, but if you're Sophitia, it's better than Breaker 2 because you're going to commit 2 things when you block it.
Yeah, you target commit. Yeah.
And that E it's niche, but it's not nothing.
Yeah, that reminds me of what's the Metal Man Foundation?
Design Flaws.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I guess that's face down. So
but still, though, this kind of hits if they are leaving like a kill card for like the end of like their next attack that will probably kill you. You can use this to make them commit like they're like, you know, champion of combat.
Yeah, this is like a last ditch.
Yeah.
You know, or if you're committed out already.
Yeah.
Then you can use this to slow them down.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. And then if you're blocking already with Sophitia, you're already target committing their best card, so it just kind of just adds on like the pressure of them being like, well, I'm going to get you again, and I'm going to get you again.
This card it's certainly great in Sophitia. In other characters, it could qualify as a might as well one of. I think if you're not triggering stuff on like blocks and on taking less damage or stuff, it's maybe a little hard to include just as a fancy buddy block.
Johnny Cage might play this.
Yep, Johnny Cage.
Yeah, Johnny Cage.
It is an asset, which is a little tough for him, but
it is. But it's something. You know, it's just a character. I'm just trying to pull characters out that could probably play it. But
I mean, the flip side of like, it's an asset, but as a 5 hand size, it's also like an extra card on defense. You know, in that vein, you could think about Zasalamel.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, just having this as sort of as a threat in a staging area is like,
if it's down there, they have to think about both parts of this. They can block with this, they can mess with they can if they want to just go all out, they can get up 4 total commits off of this in 1 round of turns.
I think that's sort of her biggest thing, right? Is like. The scary part about her is her sort of like starting to commit you on your turn and then like finishing the job on her turn. Yeah. And then you're just sort of like, oh, like how am I like, cause she doesn't seem to have like a ton of damage, at least from sort of like what we saw like early. And you know, I know we've talked about like some of the things, like some of the Sub-Zero stuff that like can really pump some damage, but you have to land it. And she helps it with some speed, but the idea, I think, is really just like if you can get them tapped out so that they're not blocking, and then you can land some really big shots. Yep. She's sort of a backswing character.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
All right. Guardian's Judgment.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I like that. This could be the card that Life's been waiting for quite some time now. Of like a legitimate thing that can kill the opponent.
Sure.
It really has not had that. It has had a lot of great 4 difficulty attacks. You know, your urban showers and whatnot, but without resorting to character theme stuff like a Jackie or a Spike 2, your sort of general life deck has been in a bit of a tight spot in terms of like how am I actually going to end the game, right? How am I going to get them from 13 to 0?
Because there's no more Nomai, and that was one way I always kill people off of life, was that.
And this is effectively a 4 mid 7 with multiple
3.
However many are in your discard pile.
In her, it's a 6 mid 7.
Yep. In whatever deck you're playing, right? In Spike 1, it's a 6 mid 8.
Yeah, 6 mid 8. It's crazy. Yeah.
You do need to get your discard pile sort of filled up, and on life, that's not something that it does very much. Earth kind of does it a little bit. Some of Jet's stuff.
Sure.
Honestly, like the thing is at life, I mean, between Sophitia, she has an E. You can be running the
Plantman can play it
the
too.
Spike 2 foundation. That's just like make a check -1 speed.
I mentioned
like graffiti something.
Yeah, a graffiti job.
You can run portal barrier and just make a bunch of checks. There may be some other ones that I'm not thinking.
Did I hear Plantman? Plantman's all about this.
Yeah, Plantman. Yeah, Plantman's all about this.
Plantman is all about this. That's true.
So, it's certainly fine in Sophitia because, like we said, she's going to be looking for damage, and this will give her some damage. But it's fine in a lot more than just her.
Sure.
I don't know how many Earth decks are going to fit this in because it has a lot of nice options at 5 difficulty.
Yeah.
In order, maybe you don't want to be on the Frosthammer plan. Maybe you do this instead.
I mean, or just in addition to the Frosthammer plan, like...
Yeah, I mean, even like in order, Kolo Khan is going to sort of have momentum to spend on this.
Ooh,
I mean,
nice.
And he can make it a throw if he doesn't have any in his bin.
Yeah.
And here's something too. Yeah, I was gonna say even if you don't have any and you just go, I have some extra momentum. Like you can just pitch a momentum and clear from your pool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it'll remove, but at the end of the day, sometimes just being like, you know what, I want to pass this next attack on a 5 instead of a 6.
Sure.
Yeah. You know what? I want my Iscadus to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I mean, right. Like, but I feel like a lot of characters can give this like some stats.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know how often. I mean, the -1 is kind of feels like if you're Sophitia, you want to avoid doing that because that's a 2-point swing total.
Yeah.
Because you're giving up the +1 to get the -1. But in a pinch, if you really need something knocked out and they did not cooperate by attacking you, it's there.
Yeah. Sure. Heaven to Hell's next. We talked about that in the preview show, so we're going to glance right over that. Providential. I'm going to butcher that. Providential Thunder, I think.
Yeah. Providential Thunder.
I'm not an English major, kids, so, But yeah.
I mean, either are we.
True. I think we were looking, go ahead, Tim.
We took Deep Freeze and Frosthammer and made them the same card. Just put them together.
Yeah. But it's on a 6
Gave it
diff,
an extra
though.
difficulty, and off we go.
Yeah.
Well, it deserves being 6.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, it does.
I mean, it's still got a 3 check, so whatever.
And it's a weapon, so you could order weapons. You could try that, like Swordman. If you really feel like it. It's 6 damage in Swordman. What
is it? Keelik, right? Doesn't he want weapons?
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Okay, and he has order in life, so
yeah.
Yeah, this maybe not a bad one for Keelik to play twice. That's not wrong.
True.
I mean, it's depending on your momentum, depending on what they. I mean, especially Keelik because he can possibly like reduce the damage significantly. So
yeah, so instead of sealing and stunning, you just get to pick. Your opponent commits to
one,
and you flip one, so you can flip like their problem.
But you flip it after they commit. So basically, like they commit 2, and you're like, okay, well, the one I wanted is this.
Yeah,
that also helps with the sense of morals.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just like, tap 2, and we're flipping that sense of morals.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's really hard for Silver Bullet in a way.
Yeah, so it's not quite as much of a staging area shredder as Deep Freeze is, but it's also one attack in your deck instead of being like, okay, we have Deep Freeze and Frosthammer, and I need to kind of draw them both, and there's nothing stopping you. I don't, if you can figure out how you're going to pass the checks, just run all 3 in an order deck. Just Deep Freeze, Frosthammer, Providential Thunder.
Yeah.
Once I learn how to pass checks, I'll kill you, and we'll figure out how passing checks are. Raiden could probably do this.
Oh sure, yeah, yep. Yeah.
Does anyone make use of that ranged?
He doesn't share with Katana.
No.
Um,
There's no.
it
I know you were
doesn't,
talking
it
about,
doesn't
like,
share with Redeemed Rogue.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
there's no
I just wasn't sure.
combos. Is there? No, there isn't. I don't think there's any combos. Yeah, like
I guess what Chun-Li has that one card that can give its like ranged attack stun.
yeah,
But
Chun-Li 1-dot can kick it from her card pool.
yeah. That's
for minimal gain.
For minimal gain, yes. For +1 progressive, you mean? +1 progressive. So, yeah.
I mean, I guess in Sophitia, if she has a like a momentum, this is at least an 8/8.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. I want to point out around the control check. It's like a kind of like a, I don't know. Is it like it's like a frisbee with spikes? I don't know. It just like
looks like one of Tira's weapons. Actually.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah, one of the hoops. Yeah, okay. Maybe possible
more statue action going on there.
Maybe possible DLC spoiler leakage. Maybe we got Tira coming. Maybe I'm just speculating, but it's on the cards, kid. So confirmed right there. You heard it here first. So yeah, So cool. Forged to defeat evil. So we were wondering if she'd have a way to minus her own damage out with in her support. So we got it.
Mm-hmm.
Found it.
Yeah, found it, man. Got it.
We found it.
This is a 6-check, and this is instead of getting -1 or +1, you get -1 and then +2. So you're not even like
it's not even
giving up +1 to get the -1.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And then if like
this is like This is like the enhanced. What was the? There was like a 1 diff, right, for Natali.
Oh no, that was a 2 diff.
That was a 2 diff, and it was spammable. Yeah, dual persona.
Dual persona. Yeah. That was also banned. Yeah, that card ended up getting banned. Yeah.
Was it banned or did it just not?
It was not unrotated.
Yes. Yeah. It was. And
I was so ready to play that with like Iceman and Snake Man, and then they were like, "We're bringing this back, but not this."
No, trust me, I know all about that card. That card.
Yeah, so that was a little bit much, but we get it once per turn. This is certainly, if you have some reversals to play. Obviously, there's not in her kit, but Urban Shower comes to mind. Her Splat comes to mind.
Tiger Uppercut. Like if you were going off of order, that's stun 1 and then -3 to the next attack.
-3,
yeah. So you can commit 2 on there.
If you do catch an opponent that's attack at base damage, this will let you trigger her enhance.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Sure.
And I mean, and you can always like combine it if you're on life. If you're running this and like Immortal Knowledge and Portal Barrier and like some of these other damage reduction stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of little like -1s can still kind of add up.
Sure. The R still is very relevant. So, it kind of like the Gil 1/5 commits to for a committal. So, but it doesn't have a block. I forget what it's called, but this. So if they play like a Kuma flips or whatever, or go ahead, Tim.
The Gil one, they choose the commits.
They choose.
This one, you choose the commit.
Yeah, so that's why it's more important because you just flip it you flip one to target commit something if they hack your check. So
yeah, and I mean,
so admission fees.
Yeah.
So admission fees.
But
I mean also. Even outside of Akuma, I mean, there's plenty of decks that are just sort of jamming in Most Trusted Assassin. This is you're not going to play that, right? You're not going to play your debt to be paid. Vega doesn't care too much about what foundations are up, but hey,
sure.
I mean, right? Maybe like tap in like a Face of a Monster or something.
Something, like flipping anything that's relevant to the turn is a plus. So and you're not losing
honestly
anything.
That feels like not the best trade because I think we talked about it with her kind of in the character show comparing her to Siegfried is like the idea is like Siegfried like he flips something and it's flipped. Like for Sophitia it's like she commits something and they get it back whenever they're ready.
Yeah, true.
So that sort of seems almost like an emergency thing of like I really want this like committed now. Like it's not bad. I think it's sort of that's the R is almost like in case of emergency, go for it.
Yeah, break glass, sure.
And you're really just going to want to get some use out of that E.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like I've already used the E this turn, and I think if I do this, I can kill them.
Yep.
So,
okay, cool. Pure and Holy Warrior. This is the card sleeves they gave us I forgot to mention that in the Siegfried episode. These are the card sleeves we got from Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
So
which one was Siegfried's? Out of curiosity.
Let me find the card real quick and I'll tell you.
It's all right.
It's super easy. It's right here. It's actually his action. The action is your path ends here. So
okay.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it has a cool discard pile effect. Remove, gain 2 vitality. It has a low block. It's not future poolside date. So
I mean, part of it, like they've, part of poolside date is one, but it feels like they've learned a little bit with like the developmental years and
Artifice Avarice
and everything. It's like, okay, sure, you can get something when you check. It's like, first off, it's played.
Yeah.
Second off, it removes.
Sure.
Yeah. So you have to remember to do it. We're not going to like backtrack the game state.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's a played ability. So, and even Artifice Avarice is a you may draw. So if you forget to draw, you could call it and say, well, too bad, you forgot to draw because it's a you may. So
yeah. That said, it's a little hard to see how much play this is going to get. That enhances, so maybe you sideboard it if you're going second. But otherwise, the enhance is a little weird. Flip for +2 speed is nothing special. The extra stun on if they block is fine.
Yeah.
Flip for -4 speed is quite good.
This almost seems like something that maybe you're like putting in like a Gil or like an Ivy Demead, like somebody that's just like gaining life and just like, sure, like, throw some -4 speed.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Sophitia does, aside from on this card itself, Sophitia doesn't really have a lot of life gain.
Sure.
But, again, like we were saying with one of the cards before, it is nice to see that not every card in every character support is meant to just be directly slotted into their deck without any thought.
Yeah.
To the exclusion of caring about anybody else.
Sure.
This is a nice, like, on-theme-ish card, right? It's got, like, the block trigger on it, at least, and it's got some speed play on it.
Yep.
It does stuff that its symbols do. It has a low block, and like I said before, sometimes Earth just wants low blocks.
Yep.
This
isn't going to be like a whole... Go ahead.
How does it work in UFS if... So this is E-flip. If you're at maximum vitality, it gets +2 or -2 speed, period. If it's blocked, they commit 1. Do you still get, if it's blocked, they commit 1 if you're not at full vitality? Or is everything after the if conditional? Do you know? I don't.
It's a little weird because the it is referring to this attack in like the previous sentence. I'm going to go with we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Offline. Because I don't want to throw anything out there without thinking.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah.
So pending. Maybe we can get like an FAQ on that because that seems important.
Isn't that kind of like the Harai thing?
And reading effects. So
yeah, it might be. I wonder how close it is to Felicia.
This is actually 2 different ifs.
Yeah.
It's like if you're at maximum, this happens. If it's blocked, this happens. So yeah, I'm not sure.
Because E-flip, you block if you're gonna end up blocking it, and if you can just E-flip, you make your opponent stun 1 on block. It's not.
I'm just saying, like, the enhance is a lot like more usable if like you get the committal.
Yeah.
When you block,
sure,
even if it doesn't get a speed impact.
So. Yeah. I would assume that was the design intent at least. But yeah, the LGR doesn't really get into pronouns. It kind of just says let the English language run its course.
But the English language sucks.
Sometimes that's a bit of a trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on.
Next.
Boom. Yeah. Tasked by Hephaestus. Throw hate on a spam cards, kids. Yeah.
I guess pretty nice. The thing is this set is going to rotate power struggles.
Yep.
So okay, it's different symbols, but
for sure. Yeah.
Here's some vitality game.
Yeah, some vitality game. So it's even if it can be offensive or defense.
Speed or damage.
Yeah, speed or damage. So it's great. Just some extra vitality game. I could actually see Siegfried playing this card because if you need some vitality game, if you're just playing you flip it, you block with this 1, pick this up, block it, bring it down.
Yeah, block a throw, bring it
Bring it down.
do some stuff. Sure.
You block it, bring it down. Damage reducts their next card. Regain the one you lost off the block on the throw. You go up by one. And then you throw like Patriot Stance into it. You gain an extra.
Oh man, and it commits one, dude. This is pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's
and like even in like Sophitia too against like a throw.
Yeah.
Like I'll block this. I'll take one and commit 3 things.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Yeah. Well, would it be more than that? Because you could also use her. No, you'd use her. Oh, it's 2. It's 1. I gotta look at her character card real quick. I'm getting confused.
So 2 from Sophitia and 1 from this.
Yeah, 2 from that. Okay, for some reason I thought her E actually.
This is fired on block.
Yeah.
So this will be before both of her things, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
This is a fired effect. Yep.
Yeah.
So they'll commit the 1 themselves, and then you point it to them.
Okay. That's kind of good because like I feel like some of those, like whenever you have the option, I feel like you want to let them commit. Like basically, it's like if you have the option between I'm going to pick one and you're going to pick one.
Yeah.
I think like you like when they pick theirs first because maybe they're going to pick the one you were going to pick anyway, and then
it's
you
just
sort
bonus.
Of get, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And on that flip, Sophitia is going to trigger that on the speed basis often enough, even if she's not piling in damage reduction.
Mm-hmm.
Spam on some symbols is thin enough that I see people run that Chun-Li card from time to time that just flips to gain 1.
Yeah, sure.
So a +2 mid-block foundation with a techie throw hate on it that flips to gain 2 is pretty fine overall quality. It won't be the first spam you put in your decks, but it might be the 3rd or the 4th spam you put in your decks.
I know that Order still has some really good spam, but like this actually could see some slots because you're running a Fei, and you can because our Order out. I don't think Order has a lot for throw hate, right? Am I thinking wrong?
So here's the thing. It
Nobody
depends.
Throw hate.
Like right now, a lot of throw hate is going to be stuff like Prepare to Fight.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's Demon Realm on Order.
Realm on Order, yeah.
So you have like
so they do have some
production and stuff, but in terms of actual just like throw blocks, there isn't a lot. I mean, Life, you're gonna have something like Peaceful Messenger,
sure.
But I would rather run this than Peaceful Messenger.
Oh gosh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, Order probably has more than Earth and Life too.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
Because Order also, people don't really run this anymore, but Order does have the old Leaf Shield.
It also has the Swordman card.
Well, I was going to say, like, comparing to this, and for Sophitia, you could run, like, what is it? I think, what's the Eligor 1/4? It's like, if it's completely blocked, it deals 1.
What Lies Ahead.
Yeah.
I always want to call it Long Journey, but I know that's the old Terry card.
Order and Earth also have $500 sunglasses. I can't believe we're not talking about that with her. Yeah, they also, I think we did that in the character show. We talked about that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one as well.
Yeah, so you got 2 cards that instantly just do 1 damage to attacks. Well, throws, I should say.
I mean...
Well, here's the thing. This is only on a throw.
Yeah, it's only on a throw.
If it's like a high or a low and you block with this, you're still taking half.
You're still taking half.
Although, like, to make a point, like the value difference in point committing 1 and 2 foundations isn't necessarily so substantial that you're like, oh, I have to play $500 sunglasses.
True. No, very true.
You could certainly be like, you know what? I'm just going to play some other, generally more useful foundation for reasons XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
And the
sometimes
R on sunglasses is pretty good, though.
The R is very good. Yes. Yeah. But yeah. So. Pretty good card. So we're done with Sophitia. So general thoughts, guys. Is she more? Are you surprised that she's this fleshed out with all the committal? Do you think that maybe they were going to add something else to her kit?
Well, I think we've already talked about a couple cards, just from other people's kits that are going to really help her out. So there's some Sub-Zero cards. There's what's it called? We talked about $500 sunglasses. I mean, she reminds me a little bit of Clark, but not. I mean, obviously not just the piles of damage.
Yeah.
I think she's sort of an interesting character. She's very sort of we talked about a backswing character, so she's very sort of defense first, is really just going to frustrate your opponent when they try to attack you, and your sort of plan is to open them up,
mm-hmm.
and like attack, like basically like do big damage when they just really can't block anything anymore because they're tapped out.
Yeah.
I feel like experienced players are. It's going to be harder to do just because, they might be like they might just have experience playing against that kind of stuff. I'm a little surprised, honestly, that she doesn't have kind of some deadlock effects on her kit. That seems like something that would be pretty beneficial to her.
None of our characters that we had deadlock effects at all.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a single deadlock effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what maybe they want to back off of that a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely she's gonna have to figure out what her proactive game plan is.
Sure.
Yeah, and she has some options, but that's going to be the tricky part of building her deck. Because just going like, oh, I can play Dirty Bow or Nutcracker, look at all these things I can do to make it a royal pain in the neck to kill me. Like that's all well and good, but you're still going to need to like at some point in a tournament, right? You have to expect that if you go through the top 16 or something, at some point you're going to face like a Garrett Brett or a David Wagner or somebody that's just going to be like, I can just stare at you.
Yeah.
And you kill my 9 foundation board.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to answer yes to that, and that's going to be the point of contention with trying to figure out how to build a good Sophitia.
Sure. Yep. Cool. All right, so that ends it. If this is the first video, you have 2 more videos to watch. If, second video, you got 1 more video to watch, kids. So,
and what are those videos?
Maxi and Siegfried. So go watch them. The Maxi video is hype as fuck. So go watch that one. That one should have been watched first because that's how I'm releasing them. We're going Maxi, Siegfried, Sophitia. So if you don't watch them in order, it's your own fucking fault. So far, I'm very happy with these cards. They remind. I know there's not a lot of the post Bebop meta we're in. There's not a lot to kind of compare them to, but they really remind me of like the Mortal Kombat set. I know it's one set.
Honestly, they remind me of like King of Fighters stuff.
Do you really? Okay, so in a way that's even kind of better, because that kind of it just seems like they're just a mix of really good cards for the character, but you don't have to play them in the cards. Like some characters you maybe kind of have to, but they're also gonna be good in other people. It's just like sure. Siegfried's cards, you could probably play a few in Sophitia and vice versa, because, we were just talking about her action in him and stuff like that. So,
you could play Rook Splitter and Jet if you want to stun 4.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can break her 5 people with
Deep Scar.
With Deep Scar. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then Maxi kind of can help out those air characters that have been looking for a way to kill people or, ready more things or just do stuff, because Felicia still is still being played, and Flipcat just isn't the end all sometimes. So I'm happy. I can't wait to see the rest of the set. We may be seeing it sooner than we thought, so that's just good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if they gave the Gal treatment 3 commons and then some 2-digit number of hours later.
Yeah.
And then the rest of those characters support.
Yeah, so
I would imagine the other content creators will be out with the same thing.
Yep.
Maybe we'll see something from who'd UFS you got? They got Nightmare, so is he all that stuff?
They got Nightmare, they got Keelik.
And
Zazamo? No.
Oh
no, Zhanghua. They got Zhanghua. Yeah, that's gonna be the big one. That's gonna be the big one, guys. Yeah, the Zhanghua one. So yeah. But so
check out their stuff too.
What?
I said check out their stuff too.
Yeah, check out their stuff. Well, yeah, because Rochester has some. I think UFS Scotland got some too. I believe they were the 4th one. So check their new channel. Go subscribe to those guys because they follow us, and we gotta hit that notification button too, so we can get their channel up and running and more UFS content. So, that's it. So this has been a wild 3 or 4 days. We went from just characters. Well, first we went for weeks in not hearing anything to characters to commons to here's the whole set, guys. So yeah. Sometimes you just gotta take the hand you're dealt, and it's all right.
Well, it's just all the more time to. Nobody will be able to complain about lack of time to prepare for Worlds.
Very
that's
true.
For sure.
Very true.
I mean, maybe some people out there would say that a month isn't enough, so there's going to be 2 months. So.
Yeah, I have no idea how a month isn't enough time to figure out what you want to play, but okay, whatever. You know, maybe you're just too nitpicky.
Well, I mean, some of it too, like, you know, if you're planning that you're going to be like buying signals for this, like,
sure.
It's nice to basically just be like, okay, what am I going to have to track down? Like, you know, you can basically like proxy this up, build what you're going to build, and then buy those cards if you don't open them.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Cool, man. Thanks for coming on again, Tim. I know that we've probably bumped up your gal treatment appearance numbers a few points. So
just as many separate videos as possible, or just padding it.
Yeah, just padding the stats now for Tim Keefe. Yep. So don't worry, guys. Barrett is not off the show. He's just working tonight. He just had some some bad luck. Just his hours haven't been working so the show, but we're gonna have Jeremy Ray on this week. We're gonna talk about
his. We don't need Jeremy Ray to fuse with Garrett.
Yeah, wow, that would be wow. I know we could get his thoughts on Keelik because I know he's really high on the Keelik, and we could talk about his PTC win and how all of Maxie's cards somehow make his deck better. So yeah, I guess we could talk about that. So we'll see you guys next time on the Gal Treatment, and take care of yourselves, and we'll see you later. Have a good night.